I still think about how normal it all felt while it was happening. That's the part that stays with me. Nothing dramatic, nothing loud, just two people moving through days that felt shared, even though they weren't supposed to be. We met at work, same floor, different teams. The kind of place where you learn everyone's coffee order before you learn their last name. I noticed her because she laughed quietly, like she didn't want to take up too much space. One afternoon, the elevator stalled for a minute, and we made small talk about how the building always did that. After that, we started saying hi in the hallway. Then we started walking out together at the end of the day. It didn't feel like a beginning, it felt like something that had already been going on. We fell into routines without talking about them. Coffee on Tuesdays because the cafe downstairs had a discount. Sitting next to each other during long meetings even when our teams didn't overlap. Texting about work, then about shows we both half-watched, then about nothing at all. Sometimes we'd stay late, not because we had to, but because neither of us was in a rush to leave. People assumed things, they always do. Someone once asked me how long we'd been together, and I didn't correct them right away. I looked at her first. She smiled, but didn't say anything. I said, a while, and we let it sit there. It wasn't a lie exactly, it just wasn't clear. We never talked about what we were doing. That was the unspoken agreement. We ate dinner together after work sometimes, splitting food, complaining about the day. On weekends, we'd text more than we probably should have. Late-night messages about random thoughts, memories from childhood, things we hadn't told many people. There was a comfort there. I learned the way she took her coffee, the songs she skipped every time, the way she got quiet when something reminded her of home. There were moments that felt like they were asking a question, like when she rested her head on my shoulder during a movie night at my place, or when she called me first after a bad day instead of anyone else. I noticed those moments and held on to them, but I never named them. I think I was afraid that if I did, they'd disappear. The shift didn't come from a fight or a big conversation. It came from something smaller. One night, we were sitting in my car after dinner, engine off, just talking like we always did. She mentioned someone she'd gone on a date with. She said it casually, like it didn't mean much. I nodded and tried to act normal, but something tightened in my chest. I realized I didn't know what I was allowed to feel. I went home that night and stared at my phone, waiting for a message that didn't come. After that, things were slightly off. Not broken, just different. She still texted, but not as late. She still laughed with me at work, but she checked her phone more. I told myself I was imagining it. I told myself this was what we'd agreed to by never agreeing to anything. We stopped having dinner as often. Coffee turned into quick hellos. The space between us grew in small, polite ways. No one else noticed. At work, we still looked the same, but I felt it. I felt the absence of the version of us that only existed when no one else was around. The hardest part was that I didn't feel like I had the right to be upset. We hadn't promised each other anything. We hadn't crossed any lines that could be clearly pointed to. So I kept quiet. I answered messages with the same tone she used. I pretended I was fine with the distance. Eventually, she told me she was seeing someone seriously. She said it carefully, like she didn't want to hurt me. I said I was happy for her, and I meant part of it. The other part just went quiet. After that, the texts slowed down even more. Work became just work again. The routines disappeared. Now, every so often, something small reminds me of her. A song we used to joke about, the coffee place downstairs. I don't feel angry. I don't even feel heartbroken in the way people usually mean. It's more like something unfinished that I carry around without knowing where to put it. I sometimes wonder what would have happened if I'd asked the question out loud, if I'd risked making things real instead of comfortable. But wondering doesn't change anything. We moved on without really ever stopping. And somehow, that's the part that stays with me the longest.